Good day. Welcome to PM. Uh, a, a good day. Welcome to another session with from PM Accountancy Stock Mathematics Tutorials. I'm glad that today we want to look on to another subject, another topic in mathematics, that is functions. Uh, we are lucky to have an discussions over the week with the comrades on these functions. So let me illustrate so that other viewers and other learners can benefit from this. If you are new to the channel, just subscribe so that you can be getting other videos as I continue uploading on the same. Good. So today we want to look into functions, and I will be somehow straight to the point. Won't dwell much on the theory part, as you know that this unit regards more of the calculations. And now for today, I want us to start with looking into linear functions. So today we will start looking into linear functions. The first part on these functions, we look into linear functions. We look into linear functions. Linear functions. We are going to look into linear functions. And as we know very well that linear functions is just a type of functions where the highest power of the variable is 1. The linear functions is functions where the highest power of the variable, the highest power of the variable is 1. Good. So the linear function. Good. So the general form, the linear function is always given in the form of fx. Fx is equals to mx plus b. Good. Mx plus b, whereby you'll find that this m, for this case, this m is always the slope. M is always the slope, and b, for this case, b is always the y-intercept. B is always the y-intercept. B is always the y-intercept. So b, I've said, is the slope, and b is always the y-intercept. In short, this is just the linear functions. It's always that this is just a straight line that we are going to come up and be able to present it on a graph. This is just a straight line. Good. So I will come up where we are going just to look direct in an exam scenario question, exam type question that can come in this topic. Exam style question. Exam style question. Exam style question that we expect. Some type of question that we expect from this area. Good. So we'll have a question that question 1 in this area that we can expect. One, you can be told consider the linear function. Consider the linear function. Consider the linear function fx, f into x, we have 3x minus 2. 3x minus 2. Then we have been told first A, determine the slope and the y-intercept of the function. That is the first part we have to solve from this area. Determine the slope and the y-intercept. Determine the slope and the y-intercept. Determine. So part A on this, we are required to solve, determine determine the slope, and y-intercept, y-intercept. Good. Determine the slope and the y-intercept. So solution to this is very simple. As I started with the introduction, so meaning it's just going to be simple for us. So one, we are required to determine the slope. So solution to this, we just say a solution now to this. Let us have the solution. Now that I had given you the linear function given in that form, and I just told you that if you have been given this as our linear function, here m stands for the what? M will always stand for the slope. M will be the slope for this case, slope, and B will be the y-intercept. So if now we have to relate this and this, now from that you'll be able to have our answer for this case. So if you have this information here, the background information now, that M is the slope and B is the what? B in this case is the y-intercept. For this function here, you can see very well that we have 3x and we have 2. So you can just simply say now that 3 in this case, 3 in that case is what? 3 in that case is the slope. So we'll just say, therefore, if we have learned that, you can just say, therefore, from this information, therefore 3 in this case, 3 is the slope, because the question wants us to determine the slope, and our y-intercept, and then 2, -2, this one now, you just have to come, we move with this from here, we move with this, all of this, so -2 will become what? Our y-intercept, Good. So that is how you will do that question in case you meet it somewhere. So 3 is the y-slope and -2 is the y-intercept. Then another question will come, part B on that. You'll be told, find the x-intercept. Find x-intercept. Find x-intercept of the graph of find x-intercept of the graph of the graph of f into x, of the graph of f into x. Good. So what we'll have to do, the graph, if you have been told to find the x-intercept of the graph fx, and you already have been given the graph of fx is that. So what you'll do, you just have to find you set fx to 0, and we know very well that fx in this question is what? Is 3x minus 2. So to find the x-intercept for this case, we have to set fx, this fx, we set it to 0 and solve for x. Just set this one to 0, this one to 0, then solve for x. So set f into x to 0, whereby we're just going to pick this one and set it to 0 and we solve for x. So therefore it will be 3x minus 2 is equals to what? 0. So 3x is equals to 2. This will come this side. Therefore, to remain with the x, it will be what? I will have my x as 2 over 3. Good. So In short, this is x-intercept. In case of I'm drawing to the graph, our x-intercept will be what? Will be, remember, on every graph, we are always being given x, y. So, and I was determining the x-intercept for this case, so it will be, now that I have the value of x, it will be 2/3, then set to what? 0. So that will be our coordinates in case we go to the exam when we want to draw the graph. Now, for this one, we were determining the y-intercept here. The coordinates now, coordinates here will be what? Coordinates here will be in the form of, because we are in the form of xy, and we have already y-intercept as -2, meaning the x will be 0, then -2. So this will be our coordinates. This will be our coordinates. Good. So we have the y-intercepts coordinates and the x-intercepts coordinates. The y-intercept coordinates and the x-intercept coordinates. Good. So we move to another part on that question that we can be required to ask. We have been told, determine the solution to the equation f into x is equals to 10. F into x is equals to 10. Good. Good. Let's proceed to another part of that question. Other part of that question. Good. Sorry. Let me adjust this. Good. Good. So we have been told part C of that question. Part C of that question. We have been told part C of that question. We have been told determine the solution. Determine the solution. Determine the solution. Determine the solution to the equation. To the equation. To the equation. To the equation. Determine the solution to the equation f into x is equals to 10. F into x is equals to 10. Determine the solution to the equation f into x is equals to 10. Good. So we have to solve for that. We have to solve what? We have to solve for f into x is equals to 10. Good. You have to solve for this. So if you have been given this, and you remember very well initially in the original part, we have been given fx as 3x minus 2. So you just have to replace now that this fx you have been given to 10, meaning we have to bring this now 10 here, we equate to this, or this one we equate to 10. We equate to 10. So it will be just therefore, we can say therefore, it will be, if you have known that we have this, we just replace where fx, so it will be 3x minus 2 equals to 10. 3x minus 2 is equals to 10. Therefore, it will be 3x is equals to 10 plus 2. 3x plus 2. Now, you come again and say 3x is equals to 12. 3x is equals to 12 divided by 3, divided by 3. So, I will have my x as here 1, here 4. Then, you will have scored your mark. You will have scored your mark in that area. You will have scored your mark in that area. So, part D on that question, we are being told, part D on that question, we are being asked to sketch the graph. This is a 10 question mark. So, last we are being told sketch the graph. Sketch the graph on the coordinate plate. On the coordinate plate. Good. On the coordinate plate. So the graph of a linear function, obvious, we have to know in mind that the graph, you have to know this. The graph of a linear function, the graph of a linear function, the graph of a linear function, and we know very well our linear function in this case is what? Is the f into x as equals to m plus mx plus b. mx plus b is what? Is a straight line. Is a straight line. So at the end of the day, on the coordinate plate, we have to come with what? A straight line. And we know very well we have to plot 2 points. We have to plot 2 points for y-intercept. Y-intercept, which we already determined. Y-intercept, we had what? We had 0, -2. Y-intercept, we had 0, -2. Then the x-intercept, and the x-intercept, we had what? X-intercept, we had 2/3, 0. You remember very well that is what we determined in the first calculation. So we have to plot that on the coordinate plate. We have to coordinate to put that on the coordinate plate. So now that I don't have the graph here with me, I'll just draw there, and then but on your graph you make sure you do the right thing. So fellow comrades, we said that you just have to come up with a graph. It's very simple. Let me draw that is my y-axis, and then let me put it something like this. So that is my x-axis, So on the y, on the so this is our 0. This here it is always our 0. Going to the right, I'll put in the form of let me put the difference of 0.5 to 0. So here let's say it is 0.5, here 0.6, then 0.5, 0.6, then we'll have what? Then we have 1, then here 1.5. As we proceed, here we have let me have here what? 2. So it's a difference of 0. So you see, I've just put this here with the intentional because the difference is 0.5. We have from here 0.5, then 1. From 0.5, difference of 0.5. Good. Now that one I've just 0.6 I've put there intentionally so that you will see what where I'm heading. So we have now on the y coordinate we'll have a difference of just 1. So from 1, here it will be 1, here 2, here 3. Then we go downward, it will be -1, then -2, -3. Good. So that is our coordinate plate. Now let us start to plot. Let's plot the x-axis, because this one I said this is our x, and then this is our y. So let us plot now. We want to plot on the coordinate plate, starting with the x. X we said, remember, this is in the form of xy, xy. So we want to start with the plot. If you are plotting on the x, you start plot x is 2/3. 2/3 is just the same as 0.6 something. So 0.6. So 0.6 is here. So I will plot here 0.6. Then 0. So it's here. So this one I plotted. Start with this one, 0.6, then 0. What about the y-axis? So we start with the x, 0. Then on the y, we have 2. So when I draw this, I will have to join the 2 points. I'll have to join the 2 points. So that is how we draw. So you see, it's a straight line. It's a straight line. Here we have plotted what? 2/3, 0. And here we have plotted 0, -2. So these are the coordinates we have plotted. Good. That's are the coordinates we have plotted. That's are the coordinates we have plotted. Good. So that is how we do that. That is how we plot on the the linear function, how to find the aim was how to determine the the y-intercept, and then we have also determined the x-intercept, the x-intercept, y-intercept. We have determined, we are able to identify the slope in the equation, the linear function we had been given, and we have realized that we have come up with our graph at the end of the day, and we have known that the linear function is always what? A straight line. The linear function is always a straight line. So this was for the linear function. So I wish you all the best. Now that we are on the channel, that is PM Accountancy / Mathematics tutorial. We'll be getting more as we continue learning together. So we are still on the linear function. I want us to look into the inequalities, and that is the next video we are going to upload, the inequalities. So if you are new to the channel, make sure you subscribe and share to others so that they can benefit on this, so that you can benefit on this. So for today, may I wish you all the best wherever you are, and may God bless you. Bye bye.